Hey you guys, welcome to another YouTube Reformer workout. Now this 45-minute full body workout is gonna give you a nice balance of upper and lower body work with that constant core connection, so get ready. All right, now this video normally lives on my on-demand platform, but I'm bringing it over here to YouTube for you to give it a try. If you enjoy it, hop over to my on-demand platform, Pilates by PFit, and check it out. I've got a 7-day free trial waiting for you. All right, you guys, 45 minutes. I'm gonna stick to it because I have to. So we're gonna try to keep it in the 45-minute time frame. Now, feeling loopy, 45-minute full body. So I've called something feeling loopy in the past, but this time it's 45 minutes. We are gonna use a light resistance loop the whole time. I'm trying to think if we take it off. No, we're using it the whole time. It's either around our arms or around our thighs or our feet. If you do not have a light resistance loop, you can use light dumbbells. I'm talking 1 to 3 pounds, nothing heavier than that, okay? And they can sub in place of what the band would be doing. Now, when it's around the thighs, the dumbbells won't be possible at that point, but that's okay. If you wanted to take your spring load up a notch, you could do that instead, okay? So light rubber resistance loop, because the fabric loops, even the lightest ones, will be too heavy, because when they're around the arms, it's gonna be a little intense, okay? So I don't want you to suffer through your form. So light resistance loop. Jump board is up, okay? And one more thing about the resistance loop. You can always, sometimes we use the blue band. If you have a blue band, that's fine. See how it feels, okay? Maybe at times when it's around your thighs, you'll be fine. But when it's around your arms, just maybe your range of motion suffers a little bit, okay? All right, jump board is up. You're gonna keep the jump board up the entire time. That means your foot bar is down and out of the way. You're starting with 1 heavy and 1 extra light. So a red and a yellow. That's balanced body, spring load talk. Headrest is down or up, your choice. We are gonna start on our back. We're gonna start with jumping. So I want you to do whatever's best through the spine, right? If you're on your back and your head looks like this naturally, you need the headrest up to give you a nice long spine, okay? So do what's best for you. I always recommend, if you don't have a mirror, videotape yourself from time to time so you can check these alignment points. I have a yoga block in my well. I am not using it, but when we are side lying, I'm gonna pop my headrest up, but you have the option to use a yoga block to fill that space instead, okay? So if you do wanna use a yoga block, place it in your well so that it is there for you when we need it. You're gonna use both your long and short loops today if you have them. If not, we'll use what you have, okay? But loops rather than handlebars, okay? And that's it. That's it. We're gonna start on our back with it around our arms. Michelle, how you feeling about all that? Good? Awesome. Okay, we're on our back. Let's go. All right, now, red and yellow, red and extra light, so heavy and extra light, you're on your back. I want you to bring that light resistance loop around your forearms or dumbbells in your hands, whatever you need, okay? You're gonna press all the way out to 2 straight legs. All right, now we're gonna find first position to start, okay? So heels together, toes turned out, all right? And we're gonna keep that position for a while. Now we're not gonna actually start with jumping yet. We're gonna start with activating through the upper body. So I want you to find your long neutral spine, right? Tailbone is heavy, belly button is drawn up and in. You have that headrest either up or down, your choice. And I want you to feel that connection point from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, okay? Palms are facing in. And on your inhale, you're gonna open up on your band, and exhale, you're gonna narrow on your band, okay? Inhale, open, exhale, close. Now, if you're with dumbbells, right, you're doing the same thing. You're just opening to a slight V, and then you're coming back to that parallel position. Inhale, exhale, feel the ribs narrow, feel the pelvic floor narrow, okay? Inhale. Diaphragm drops, ribs get wide, exhale. So our band is kind of mimicking what our ribs are doing. 4 more, inhale and exhale. Feel your back, feel your shoulders. Good, last 2. You're gonna inhale And exhale, last one. Open on that band. And narrow. Now you're gonna rotate your palms to face forward. Okay, palms are facing the jump board. We're gonna alternate a pull down, okay? And actually move the band to your hands. If it was around your forearms, move it to your hands. I've got my thumbs on the outside of the band and the band around the palm, okay? On your exhale, you're gonna pull that right elbow towards the frame, towards the outside of that carriage. And then you're gonna bring it all the way back up. Okay, left elbow pulls wide to the outside of that carriage. And then all the way back up. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, extend. So it's a row. Okay, it's a row. Your straight arm is nice and stable, right? That's where anything heavier than this light resistance loop would be too tough. Okay, inhale, extend. Good, exhale. Bend that left elbow. Inhale, extend. Right. And extend. Good. Left. Holding that neutral spine. Don't worry, we will jump soon. Good. Right. 3 more. And extend. Good. Left. And extend. Last 2 each side. Right. And extend. Good. Left. You're holding that nice connection point, shoulder blade to shoulder blade. 1 more. Right. And it extends. Left. And extend. Now hold your arms up and over your chest. Okay. We're going to find a little tricep extension. So I want you to row both elbows down by your side, connect them to the carriage, and turn your palms in. Okay. Palms are in. The band is still around your palm. On your inhale, you're going to extend your right pinky finger towards the carriage and bring it back. And then left pinky finger and bring it back. We're going to keep these a little short so we can get into that jumping. Right and bring it back. Left, full extension of that elbow. So I want you to open it all the way. Okay, last 2 on each side. Right. I'm still reaching that pinky finger towards the frame. Okay, it's full extension. 1 more each side. Right. And bring it back. And left. And bring it back. Now extend both arms up and over the chest. Hold it there. Palms are still in. And we're going to jump. On your exhale, you're going to bend both knees. You're still in first position. So your knees open, but your heels are together. Keep the heels down. And then on your inhale, you're going to send yourself out for a little hop. Okay, so I want you to keep those heels super glued together. All right, you're thinking about that strong inner thigh connection. Inhale and exhale as you land. Remember, I'm a stickler on jumps, so get those heels to make full contact with the jump board every time. Good. Inhale, exhale, land. Good. You're here for 6, 5, 4. We're going to pause for just a moment. 3, 2. Good. Last 1. Hold it. Extend all the way out. 2 straight legs. Okay, you're still in first position. Now, you're going to rotate those palms forward again. Rotating the palms to face the jump board. You're going to pull that right elbow down towards the carriage and hold it there. Oh boy. Okay, now your right leg is going to extend over the jump board. Hold the turnout. All right, so you're still in first position, but you just lifted that leg now above the jump board. Inner thigh facing up. Here we go. We're going to jump on that left leg. Exhale, bend that left knee. Inhale, leave. So everything is isometric. The leg, the arms, right? We're just jumping on that left leg now. Inhale, exhale, land. Landing through the ball of the foot and connecting the heel. Hold that turnout position. All right, so if your heels if we were feet together, right, we'd still be in first position. That left arm is long and strong. 8, 7, 6. We're going to switch right to the other side in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, extend that left leg. Connect the right leg to the jump board. Lengthen your right arm. Let's row that left elbow down to the frame. Hold the right arm strong. Left leg comes above the jump board. Point that toe, holding turnout. You're gonna bend that right knee. Inhale, jump. All right, so only on that right leg now. Left inner thigh is facing towards the ceiling. Now, I know you're jumping and you're not looking at your feet, right? But I want you to think about the right knee tracking with big toe, second toe. So just like we would on a plie, right? Or a squat or a lunge, that knee tracking is important. All right, so I want you to think about that as you jump. Good, hold it here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now pause, bring your feet back to first position. Arms extend over the chest, palms in this time. All right, we're gonna jump again, but now we're gonna do a crisscross. On your exhale, you're gonna bend both knees. And on your inhale, you're gonna leave and you're gonna go over, under, land. Over, under, land. I want you to alternate the lead leg. So if your right crosses first, then your left crosses first next time. Okay? It's 2 crosses, over, under, land. Over, under, land. I want you to connect those heels every time when you land on that jump board. Over, under, lands. Quick, because we're on heavy springs. So this is where your heart rate is gonna start to climb. Okay? Keep those arms in parallel. Over, under, land. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Actually, give it one more so we're even. Pause. All right, we got one more jump sequence here. Pause for just a second. You're gonna find third position. So, I know that's ballet terminology. Keep your left foot exactly how it is in turnout. You're gonna take your right heel to the arch of your left foot. So I just moved my heel up to the middle of that left foot. Okay, arms are still extended over the chest. Connect your shoulder blades. Okay, on your exhale, you're gonna bend both knees. And on your inhale, you're gonna leave and you're gonna switch your landing. Okay, so you're alternating which foot lands in that third position. All right, so your heel is coming towards the arch of your foot, or the center of your foot. You're still in turnout. I want you to think about that strong inner thigh zip. Good. Pelvic floor narrows. You're still working with a neutral spine. Okay, this is a lot of jumping, I know. Hang on, especially at the end of the day, right? 6. Good. 5, 4, 3, get that heel down. 2, good, last one, both landings. And bring it all the way in. Oh, okay. All right, you are coming up, all the way up. We're gonna turn to our right, okay? And you're gonna take off that red spring. Take off your red. We're gonna sit in mermaid, okay? So your left leg is gonna be in front, and your right leg is gonna be in back. So the leg closest to the shoulder blocks behind you. Okay, now, slightly uncomfortable for setup, but I want you to get your left sitting bone on the edge, or as close to the edge of the carriage as you can by the springs, because, right, so part of your booty is kind of hanging off. I want you to get as much range of motion through that left arm, okay? So, get pretty close to the jump board, all right? Now, you're gonna take your loop, and you're gonna bring it around your left foot. Okay, so it loops around the left foot, and then it goes in the right, over the right wrist. Okay, so left foot, right wrist. Okay? Left hand is on the jump board. Now, if you have a dumbbell, you're just holding your dumbbell in that right hand. You're gonna extend all the way out to a straight left arm. Okay? Now, I want you to make sure that your left hand is in front of your side seam, or in front of your shoulder, not behind you. We wanna protect the shoulder. Okay, your right arm is gonna extend off the chest, and I already feel it. I already feel it. Okay, so you wanna square off your shoulders, stay nice and tall. On your exhale, you're gonna bend your left elbow, single arm jumping. Inhale, leave. Okay, so the goal here is to stay nice and stable through the torso, right? We obviously have this challenging prop, all right? So it's gonna be hard to keep that arm lifted. We're not here super long. We have 2 layers. We're gonna get through them, okay? Inhale, leave. Exhale, land. Bending that elbow, trying to land through the full palm. 2. So try to connect the base of your thumb. 1. Now, we're gonna add a pulse up on the band as we leave. Okay, a pulse up on the band as we leave. Good, so I'm lifting that right arm maybe 2 inches at the most. Okay, palm is facing in. Good, nice control right here. 4 more. Inhale, pulse up and land. Inhale, you're on that extra light spring, so you have a lot of time, right, to get this choreography in. Inhale and exhale. Good, give me 1 more right here. We're gonna change what that right arm is doing. Continue your jump. Now that right arm is gonna go for an opening and come back. Inhale, open, whoo, and come back. 6 more. Open and come back. Try to keep that arm at underarm height. Okay, good. 4, whoo, 3, oh boy, good. 2, good. Last 1. Oh, that arm didn't want to open and come all the way in. Come all the way in. Now, stay in mermaid. You're gonna take the band into your hands, both my left hand and my right hand. Now, my left hand is gonna grab the top of the jump board. So that loop is pretty much just hooked up around my left thumb. I'm just gonna hold the top of my jump board. Now, my right arm is gonna come up and overhead, okay? And I want you to have your palm facing the ceiling. Okay, we're gonna do a tricep extension. So, sitting nice and tall. You can do the same with a dumbbell. Roll your shoulder blades around your ribs. I'm already shaking. On your inhale, you're gonna extend the right elbow. Exhale, bend. Don't let go of the other side of that loop. Otherwise, we're gonna have a big snap. Inhale and exhale. So kind of like you're waving, right? Inhale and exhale. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale and bend, exhale. 4 more. Full range of motion, so you want to open up that elbow all the way. Okay, last 3. So I wasn't joking about anything heavier than a light band is going to be really challenging. Inhale and exhale. Last 1. Inhale and exhale and bring it all the way down. Okay, you're going to lie on your right side, but not all the way down. Leave your springs alone. But actually, before you do that, put your band around your thighs. Let's get that up around the thighs because it's going to be there for a little bit now. Now, this is where if you had dumbbells, don't use anything, or you can use a slightly heavier band, you'll be all right. If you use nothing, you can always go up to 1 blue spring to make things a little more challenging, all right? You're going to come onto your right forearm. Forearm is up against your shoulder blocks, okay? Flat palm or ninja palm. You're gonna curl up your legs. Now I know the jump board is there, but we're gonna be grabbing the strap, so don't worry. Your legs are curled up, okay, at a slight 45 off the hip. Knees are stacked and ankles are stacked. Okay, we wanna make sure the elbow is under the shoulder and that we're lifting up out of that. Grab the strap right in front of you, okay? And you're gonna put your left hand inside your short loop. Okay, you can always switch to your long loop if that feels too challenging, but you're gonna extend that left arm up and over the shoulder. You want your left palm facing the jump board, okay? It's gonna stay just like that to start. We're gonna clam, okay? So I want you to keep your heels together on this one, all right? Set yourself up, length on both sides of the waistline. On your inhale, you're gonna open that left inner thigh. Exhale, close. Good, open and close. Beautiful. So you're thinking about that left femur head rotating inside the pelvis. The pelvis doesn't get to move. It stays nice and stable. 4 more. Open and close. Good. Open and close. Your range of motion is dependent on you holding that good form. right? On your next one, you're gonna hold the clam open. Hold it open. Now your left arm, it's gonna bend and extend, tricep extension. Bend and extend, kind of like you're waving again. Okay, but we just switched arms. It's not the right arm this time, it's the left arm. All right, and extend. Hold that clam open. Stay stacked through the pelvis. Good, you've got this. Last two. Bend and extend. Full extension of that elbow every time. Last one. Hold your arm straight. Close your clam. Now you're gonna lift your heels. All right, so hold this position. Just lift your heels up so that your bottom shin is no longer fully resting on the carriage. Let's continue our clam. You're gonna open that top leg. Good, and close. Keep the hip stacked, lift up out of that right shoulder. Open and close. Now we feel the bottom hip glute med, right, come into play. Right, it's working a little harder now. The shaking is definitely happening. Good, open and close. 4 more. Whoo! Open and close. Last 3. Now this time we do have a hold, but it's not gonna be that tricep extension. All right, last 2 and close. Hold your next one open. Hold it open. And now right here, you're gonna pulse it. 1 inch closed and 1 inch open. 1 inch closed and 1 inch open. Good, hang on. You've got it. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Close it all the way. Set that bottom heel, set the heels down so the heels are back down. Stay here. We're almost done. That left arm stays nice and solid. You're gonna open your entire left leg. So the knee and the ankle. Open and close. Good. Lift up out of that right shoulder. Open and close. We're not letting that top hip roll back. That's part of why I have your left arm up. If that left arm is slightly in front of your side seam like it should be, okay, it's gonna prevent you from rolling back. Open, whoo, and it gets everything going, right? Everything is working. 3 and close. Last 2 and close. Last 1, hold it open. Left elbow, bend and press. Oh, bend and press. 4 more. Bend, you got this. Keep that left leg lifted and open. The hips are stacked. You're lifting up out of that right shoulder. Last 2, bend and press. Last 1, bend and press. And close it, bring that arm down. Stay here. Take your long loop now, and you're gonna move it to your left foot. Long loop, left foot, okay? Now, if you want your yoga block, put it on your headrest now. If you don't, lift up your headrest, all right? So that your headrest is lifted and you can put your right ear on there. So we're gonna lay down. Okay, now, your bottom hip, or your bottom leg is gonna stay bent just how it is. But your top leg is gonna extend all the way off the hip. Flex that foot. Okay, now what I want you to do is connect through the waistline. So your bottom waistline is lifted. So you have breathing room underneath that right waistline. Okay, your hips are stacked. You have an option with your left arm. Okay, your left arm can hang up towards the sky, right over the shoulder. It can come behind your head. It can go on your left hip. Wherever you want it is fine by me. If the arm is up, please make sure it stays slightly in front of you so you don't roll back. We want the shoulder stacked too. Okay, here we go. My left leg, you want to make sure that ankle is hip height. Hip height. All right, we're going to hold it there as we bend the left knee forward. Left knee comes forward like we're sitting in a chair, right? You want to keep the ankle, knee, and hip the same height. And then you're going to inhale as you extend away directly under the hip, okay? Exhale, bend, that knee comes forward, the femur sinks into the pelvis, right? So feel that through the hip, and then extend all the way out on your inhale. 4 more. Bend. Now it might feel light to start, but I promise you, it will get harder, so stay here. 3. Good, I don't want you messing with, oh, I'm gonna go to a heavy spring. No. Don't do it. You know me already. You know how I layer, right? I wouldn't allow you to get out of this nice and easy. Good. Bend the knee forward and extend. Now hold your leg extended. Hold it extended. You're going to lower the leg and lift the leg. Lower and lift. Good. Are we still making sure that bottom waistline is lifted and long? Good. Find that. Okay, we want the entire core working. Lift and lower. Good. 3 and lower. Last 2 and lower. Last 1. Hold it at hip height. Now we're going to sweep. So you're going to soften the toe, sweep the leg forward. Now flex the foot and bring it back, and you're bringing it just past your side seam. So you feel that glute max contract. Okay? Point and sweep. Keep the ankle the same height as the hip. Flex and pull it back just past the side seam. Point and sweep. We haven't done side lying legs in a while, right? Right? Just a little different with that resistance loop. 3 more. Point, flex and pull back. Good. Point and sweep. Flex and pull back. Nice and strong. Last one. Point and sweep. Flex and pull back. Now bring that leg right off the side seam. Hold it there, and you're going to pulse up. Up. 1 inch up and down. 1 inch up and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the leg hip height. We're not done. Slightly bring that leg forward so you're at a 45-degree angle off the hip. In other words, your knees are pretty much lined up. Okay, they're pretty close to being lined up. Flex that foot. We're going to go for internal rotation. So you're going to rotate the quad to face down and then back to parallel. So the toes go with the whole leg, right? So the toes turn down and then back to parallel. We're holding space under that bottom waistline, right? Rotating the femur in the hip and back. 3 more. Rotate that quad down and back. Only internal rotation. Only internal. And back. Good. Last one. Hold this one internally rotated. Hold it. And you're going to pulse up from there. 1 inch up and 1 inch down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it all the way in. Oh, okay, spicy. Okay, let's take off that loop. Take it off, or take off the strap. Keep the band around your thighs. You're gonna add that heavy spring back on. So add that red spring right back on. You have 2 springs, a red and a yellow, or a red and an extra light. Okay, your headrest can come down, although it's not gonna be in the way, or that yoga block goes away. You're gonna turn rear facing. I want you to scoot all the way close to your shoulder blocks. Okay, we're gonna lay down. Now, we're gonna support the head with the hands. Be careful when you lay down depending on your height. I don't know how close that jump board is to you, okay? So just be careful. Hold on to your shoulder blocks, lay down and scoot that butt really close, all right? Then we're gonna bring our legs up over our hips to find tabletop, and let's get the hands behind the head. You're gonna interlace your fingers, thumbs long, and they're gonna cradle the skull. Okay, elbows wide. Now, we're gonna find first position with the legs. So, heels together, toes turned out, so you've got that V going on with your feet, okay? And my knees track with my toes, with my big toe, second toe. So my inner thighs are separated, all right? Hold that. Now, you wanna make sure that the knees are in alignment or in the same plane as the hips, right? That they're not over our belly button. Okay, so shift that forward so that the low belly is working too. Okay? All right, here we go. We're gonna ab curl. So on your exhale, you're gonna curl head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, release that. Now you have the hands behind the head, so I want you to use those palms to traction the skull out and back on your curl. Inhale, open your ab curl. Exhale, traction and curl. So it's a little assistance in finding length through the spine, right? Just a little extra help. And inhale. Exhale and inhale. Let's go 3 more. Exhale and inhale. Last 2. You're going to be holding this ab curl. All right, so let's prepare for it. On your next one, you're going to curl and hold it. Elbows are wide. Remember, we're not pulling on the head and neck. Now, you're going to pulse open on your band and narrow on the band. Now, if you don't have a band, you can do the same thing, okay? Same thing. Just, you're not doing it with the band. That's all. Opening the inner thighs and closing 1 inch only. Open 1 inch and close 1 inch. All right, so I want you to feel the rotation get a little deeper from the femur head and the hip when you pulse open and closed. Pulse open and closed. Good. 4 and narrow. 3 and narrow. So when I say pulse, they're never fast. Never, never. Okay? Last 1, we're going to change it up. Hold right here. You're going to pulse open on the band and narrow. Now you're going to straddle. You're going to point your toes and open your legs into a V. Flex your feet and bring your heels back together. Let's do it again. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Pulse open and straddle. Flex and close. Okay, you're holding your ab curl. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Good. Feel that low belly work. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Good. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. 4 more. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Woo! 3. Point. Flex and close. Good. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Last 1. Pulse open and narrow. Point and straddle. Flex and close. Now I want you to give me 1 point and straddle. 1 point and straddle. Hold it there. Hold it there. Now you're going to pulse your ab curl. Pulse up 1 time and pulse your straddle. Open 1 time. Pulse up and open. Pulse up and open. Good. Elbows are wide. Find that traction again. Commit to that length through the spine. Space between your chin and chest. Pulse up and straddle. Now flex your feet. Let's continue. Pulse up, pulse open. Pulse up, pulse open. Good. Up and open. 4 more. Up and open. Last 3. Up and open. Good. 2 and open. Last 1. Pulse up and open and hug your knees. Oh boy. Okay. Come on up. Hang on to those shoulder blocks. Roll up. We're going to come on to our left side. So find your yoga block again if you used it last time, or just lift your headrest. Take off your heavy spring. My back is to you now. I don't love that, but you know, it's just the way it's got to go. We're going to keep the band around your thighs if you have one, and you're going to lie down on your left side. All right, now we're starting with the foot and the loop, okay? Or the foot and the strap. So you're going to take the strap right in front of you now, and you're going to bring that long loop to your right foot. All right, and we're going to go through all of that on this side. So your bottom knee, you can start with both legs curled up. Okay, hips stacked, knees stacked, ankles stacked. Once you found that, and you found that nice little space under your left waistline, you're going to extend that right leg directly off the hip, flex your foot. So it's like you're standing up on that leg. Let's find that position through our right arm that we took on the other side. Okay, so mine was up towards the ceiling. I'm going to hold that here. All right, I'm going to relax my left arm as much as I can, holding no tension there. All right, now, from here, we're going to start with that bend and extend. So I want you to make sure your right ankle is the same height as your right hip. Okay, here we go. My right knee is going to pull forward like I'm sitting in a chair. I keep that height, right? My ankle, my knee, my hip, all the same height. I feel the femur sink into the pelvis. And then I extend all the way out the heel and back under the hip. Okay, exhale, bend, knee comes forward. Inner thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale, extend. Make sure that right arm, if it's extended, that it is slightly in front of your side seam so that you're not rolling back, right? We don't want that. Inhale, extend. We want to keep that pelvis nice and stacked. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Last two. Bend that right knee forward. Now, you might feel this side creep in with that burn a little faster, right? Because it was already working on the other side. That bottom hip is not taking a break. It's active, especially we have that left waistline lifted and long. Everything is working. Everything. And extend. Hold your leg extended off the hip. Foot is still flexed. You're going to lower the leg and lift it. Lower and lift. Now, your lift is not too high, right? It's basically just above the hip because I want you to keep that space under your waistline. Lift. Good. Lower and lift. Last two. Lower and lift. Last one. Lower and lift. Hold it here. Now you're going to turn it into that point and sweep. You're going to slightly point the toe. Sweep it forward, keeping the ankle the same height as the hip. Now flex that foot and bring it back. Good. Point and sweep. Flex and bring it back. Just past your side seam. You want to feel the glute max contract. Point and sweep. Flex and pull back. Challenge your range of motion on that sweep. 3. Can you get that leg in front of the hip? Maybe not today, but maybe that's a goal. Maybe that's a goal. Last 2. Point and sweep. Good. The flexibility through the back line of the leg, that will limit that, right? Last 1. Point and sweep. Flex and pull back. Now you want that leg directly off the hip. Okay? Foot is still flexed, and I want you to pulse up, up, up. Keep space under that waistline. 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax your left hand. 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Okay, here we go. We're taking this leg to that 45-degree angle, so sweeping it forward. Our knees almost track. Okay, we're going to go internal rotation. Are you ready? Internally rotate so that quad turns down, so do the toes. And then it comes back to parallel. Okay, internally rotate. Whoo! And parallel. Internal and parallel. Don't let that bottom waistline collapse. 3 and parallel. Good. 2 and parallel. Last one. Hold it internally rotated. And now you're going to pulse up from there. Pulse up from there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it all the way in. Oh my goodness. Okay, take the strap. Stay here. Take the strap off your foot. Okay, you're coming up onto your left forearm now. Okay, you can put your headrest down or get rid of your yoga block. Now, you want to stack your knees, your hips, and your ankles again. So let's recommit to that. Nice length on both sides. You're going to grab the short loop in your right hand, and you're going to lengthen that right arm up and over the shoulder, okay? Now again, make sure that arm is in front of you slightly. You can see it in your peripheral vision when you're looking straight ahead because I don't want you to roll back, okay? All right, here we are. Our shoulders are square and so are our hips. We're going to start with just that clam. Make sure your fingertips are at underarm height. Okay, here we go. Heels stay together. You're going to open that right inner thigh and close. Whoo! Open. It's never fun the second time around. Unfortunately, on this stuff, this side lying stuff is brutal. It's brutal. 3, open. Right, but it's only 45 minutes. We're getting it in. We're getting that work in. Open and close. Last one. Open and close. Now I want you to hold this one open. Hold it open. Here comes that tricep extension. You're going to bend that right elbow and press. Your palm is facing your jump board. Bend and press. 4 more. Hold your clam. Don't roll back. Keep everything nice and stable. 3 and press. 2 and press. Last one. We're going for that heel lift now. So hold your right arm extended. Close your clam. Lift your heel so your bottom shin is elevated now. Stay lifted out of that left shoulder. Here we go. Continue your clam. Open, whoo, and close. This is when everything starts to shake. Open and close. 4 more. Open and close. 3. You can do this, right? It doesn't last forever. Last 2. We got this. We're going to hold the next one open. Are you ready? Here we go. Hold it open. And now you pulse 1 inch closed and 1 inch open. 1 inch closed and 1 inch open. 1 inch open. 3, close and open. Last 2, 1 inch closed and 1 inch open. Last 1, close and open. Now close your legs. Bring that shin back down. Right arm is still stable. Whole bent leg. So ankle and knee open and close, okay? Open, hold that pelvis quiet, lift up out of that left shoulder. You got this. 4 and close. Range of motion is dictated right by form. So don't let it suffer. Don't sacrifice that form. 3, we got that tricep extension coming back. 2, and then we're going to sit up for that mermaid jump, okay? Last 1, hold it open, hold it open. Right elbow bends and extends. Whoo! Right elbow bends and extends. Full extension. 4 and press. 3 and press. You got this. Last 2 and press. Last 1. Inhale, press, and close it all the way. Whoo, hang up your strap. And let's just make sure the mermaid is really what we have next, that I didn't skip something. Yes, we're good. Okay, come all the way up. Take off your strap, take off your loop, take off your loop. Okay, the loop is now coming to the arms. So my right leg is in front, okay, my left leg is in back. Right leg in front. Now, you're going to scoot all the way over to the edge of your carriage, okay? So you get that sitting bone as close to the edge as possible. And that's going to allow for nice range of motion. Okay, now the loop is coming around your right foot and your left wrist, okay? Right foot, left wrist, okay? Let's get that right hand on the jump board, and you're going to extend all the way out to a straight right arm. Okay, make sure that right hand is in front of your shoulder, in front of your side seam. All right, and try to get a full palm connection. Now my left arm is gonna extend off the chest, and I'm already gonna feel it, and we're just gonna do it. Palm is in, okay? Roll your shoulder blades down your back, sit tall, right? Lifting sternum over pubic bone. On your exhale, you're gonna bend that right elbow. Inhale, extend and leave. Okay, so full range of motion jump on that right arm. Inhale to leave. Exhale, bend. Inhale to leave, staying nice and stable. 4, 3, we're gonna add that lift or that pulse up on the band. Okay, it's coming. Last 1, now we add the pulse. Okay, so we jump and we pulse up on that band. Exhale, land. Inhale, pulse up. Exhale, land. Good. Inhale, pulse up. Now I want you to think less about shoving through the arm, okay, and more about your breath taking you out, okay? Inhale, pulse up. Exhale, land. Last 2. Pulse up and come in. Good. Last 1. All right, now we're going to open. And you know what? If you need to take that band around your palm instead of your wrist, you can always do that, okay? Inhale, open that door. Oh, I might have to get rid of the band. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Inhale, open the door and come in. Good. Open the door and come in. 4 more. Open and close. 3. Open. Okay, that left arm came to the party. 2. I was like, I don't know. Last 1, not so nicely though. And come all the way in. That was definitely not pretty. It's a good thing my back was to you. All right, we're gonna turn and face Face the jump board. This is your last sequence. Oh my goodness, where did the time go? Okay, you're taking your band around your feet, okay?
Jess, did we not have a one-arm thingy where we were holding the top of the jump board?
Oh, good, yes, thank you. You're right. Yes, Michelle, sorry. Okay, I'll give you time to get back in position since you had to unmute. All right, stay where you were in mermaid. Right sitting bone as close to the carriage edge. I did feel like I was forgetting something. Okay, I'm glad you said something. Okay, your hands now have the band. So right hand and left hand, you have a grip on that band. You're gonna take your right hand and you're gonna hold the top of your jump board, okay? So my thumb is basically hooked up on that band. My left arm is coming up and overhead, okay, palm inside the loop. My brain is taking a second. Okay, here we go. So your palm is facing the ceiling. Okay, and you're sitting nice and tall and we're relaxing the shoulders as best we can. On your inhale, you're gonna extend that left elbow all the way. Exhale, bend it slow. Okay, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Oh yeah, see, it's too aggressive to not do, right? Extend and bend slow. 3 more. Inhale, every time I want you to take that moment to make sure the shoulder blades are down and we're not hiking the shoulders. Last 2, and bend. Good. Last 1, inhale, and exhale, and bring that arm all the way down. Oh, okay. Good job. Good. Michelle could teach the class. Okay, we are coming to face the jump board. Now you are taking it around your feet, but I want you to add that red spring back on. So you've got a red and a yellow, okay? We're gonna end with a jump sequence, all right? And we're gonna get some external rotation going here. So you're gonna lay all the way down on your back again, headrest up or down, your choice, okay? And you wanna bring your feet wide on the jump board, but wide second. So you're in a turnout position, not extreme turnout like a ballerina, right? That 45-degree angle from the hip. And you're gonna extend out to 2 straight legs. Okay, so let's just take a minute to get set up here, all right? Tailbone is heavy, pelvis is neutral, little bit of breathing room under that low back, my ribs are closed, my belly button's pulled up and in. All right, now my arms are gonna stay down for this one, so they're gonna be long by my side. We're gonna focus solely on what's happening at the hip, okay? All right, here we go. You're gonna stay in this wide second. On your exhale, you're gonna bend both knees. Knees are tracking with big toe, second toe. Inhale, leaf. All right, so now the band around the feet is quite aggressive. If that feels too hard, you can move it to your ankles. And if that still feels too hard, you can move it to your thighs. Okay, or you can just get rid of it altogether. All right, holding that turnout. All right, that's challenging with that loop. Our feet are quite wide, okay? You're here for 6. 5, we're gonna find a rotation in 4. We're gonna go between parallel and wide second. All right, so all wide though. Last 2. Now you're gonna swivel the legs parallel but stay wide. Now external and land. Parallel, land. External and land. So parallel wide, external wide. Parallel wide, good, external. And I want you to focus on the femur in the hip, right? I know that's really hard when you have a band around your feet, but ignore it. Focus on the femur in the hip. Keep that neutral spine and pelvis, okay? You're here for 6. Whoo! 5. 4, we're gonna hold parallel in 3. Good, keep rotating, alternating that landing. Last 2. Whoo! Good, last 1. Hold parallel, continue your parallel jump. Wide legs. Okay, now we're gonna alternate our landing between narrow and wide. But the whole time you will still hold tension on that loop. So here we go. We're gonna land narrow, we're gonna land wide. Land narrow, land wide. Think about if you were standing up, right? These would be like squat hops, wide and narrow. wide and narrow, okay? You land wide, toes are up, land narrow, toes are up. Land wide, land narrow for 8. Whew, this is it. Last 7. Every time we get the heel down. 6. Good, hold that strong core. 5. Oh boy. 4. Narrow. Last 3. And narrow. Last 1. And narrow. Continue to jump narrow. Continue to jump narrow for 8. Good, this is it. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. And bring it all the way in. I said this is it 2 times. I realize that now. Take off your loop. Take it off. Hug your knees into your chest. Oh boy. Whoo. Let the heart rate come down. Right? That was a little cardio push right there. Now, you're going to take your left foot to the jump board. Left foot to the jump board. And your right ankle is going to cross your left thigh. And you're going to press all the way out, okay, to get set up right there. We're going to come into a figure 4 stretch. So left leg is straight right now. You've got that right ankle over your left thigh. I want you to come in nice and slow, and then we'll remove that foot from the jump board. So on your exhale, you're going to start to bend your left knee. Your left sitting bone, okay, is going to broaden. Now you're going to take your left foot off the jump board and hug that left thigh towards your chest. Okay, I'm using my right elbow to open up my right inner thigh. And if you want to get even a little deeper, you can extend your left leg towards the sky. And on your exhale, flex that left foot and bend the knee, bringing your left heel towards your left glute. And hold that stretch right there for 4. For 3. Good, last 2. Good, and bring that left foot back to the jump board. Let's press all the way out. Right foot to the jump board, okay? Left ankle over your right thigh. Same thing, get set up. All right, find that neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Let's slowly bend that right knee. My right knee is tracking with big toe, second toe. Good, when I'm all the way in, I'm gonna lace my hands behind that right thigh and take that right foot off the jump board. My left elbow opens up my left inner thigh. And to get just a little deeper, we're gonna extend that right leg up to the sky. Flex your right foot and bend that right knee as you pull it towards your glute. Good, and hopefully that allows you to access that left hip a little deeper. Good, hold that there and breathe for 4. Last 3. Good, last 2. Good, and release that. Now stay in, don't press away anymore. We're gonna come into happy baby. You're gonna grab the insteps of your feet. Okay, knees are as wide as your shoulders. Okay, so you've got really, really open legs and your feet are flexed towards the ceiling. All right, and you're just gonna allow that stretch to happen right there through the pelvic floor and inner thighs. Okay, relaxing if you wanna rock side to side and massage that spine a little bit. Doesn't need to be big. Just feel yourself imprint on either side of the spine. Good, for 4. Keep breathing normally for 3. Good, for 2. Good, bring your legs together, hug your knees one last time, and you did it. That's it. Okay, 53. 53 with the stretch, but I did talk in the beginning, so we can count that out. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Nice job, you guys. All right, well, I'm gonna keep popping in shorter live classes. So our Sunday is our long reformer flow, right? It is 60 to 90 minutes. That isn't going to change. But I'm going to try to throw in some of these pop-ups that are going to be 45 minutes or less. Okay, we might even have some 30 minutes in there. And I'm going to switch the days around and keep playing with times. You let me know what works for you, okay? Well, I'll know if you come on. I am just an email away if you need me, or if you needed a modification that I didn't give, please reach out. And I'll see you on Sunday. Nice job. Hey, you guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed that workout. Now, hop over to my on-demand platform. Check it out. You've got 7 days to explore the entire platform. Join my live classes. Ask me questions. We can talk one-on-one so you feel comfortable joining the platform. I've got over 400 workouts waiting for you on both the mat and the reformer. All right, so we've got a lot to do. Come visit me at pilatesbyjesspfit.com.